Hi, and welcome to the show. Today is Wednesday. It's Recovery Wednesday, March the 15th, 2017. Our call-in number is 563-999-3581. Press 1, and that puts you in queue to talk to us. And we would love to hear your comments and your questions because that makes this your show. Welcome, Michael.
Thank you, Gerhard, and welcome everybody. We're honored to be with us once again, engaged in this awesome conversation about forgiveness and the corollary tools that go along with it.
Michael, you're not real clear. You're echoing.
Is that better?
Much.
Good. Cool. Excuse me, I had pushed the wrong button on my phone. In any event, honored, delighted that you're here. And today we're going to look at if Julie's with us. There was a question that Tim brought up yesterday that he wanted to get more input, and I think we've got a couple different folks that are going to give us some input. Tracy hopefully is there, and Camille, and so let's open this space. Jeannie, if Julie is there, Tim's question yesterday was about putting the vision idea into the worksheet and how excited he was about that and wanted more information from Julie and friends. So is Julie with us? And we'll look at how to recover the ability to hold a vision.
She is not with us yet, and if those who he just mentioned that are going to share would press 1, there's a lot of numbers on the switchboard, and instead of me looking up everybody, if you just press 1, then I would know that you're going to come in on that.
So if you're there, Tracy, maybe push 1 and you'll be next in line with no waiting. How miraculous is that? I understand you waited yesterday and didn't get through. Nobody's putting a hand up. Camille? Hello, hello.
We just had one hand go up. It's 541. You're on the air.
Hey,
well, let's say hello to 541. Hey, young lady.
Hi there. I'm sitting in a field of consciousness doing 2 wake-ups at the same time.
All right.
Amazing.
Now that's good. You can start juggling wake-up sheets.
Well, I'm doing them both on my dog, and one is sadness and one is anger, because his health is, I'm perceiving his health as getting worse and fearing that I'll lose him. But what I wanted to say, I wanted to say, would you like me to text Tracy? I happen to hear that you would, because I know she's involved with, I think, house cleaning going on at her house. So I could text her. Maybe
she may be busy, so that's okay. She may be busy, but it sounds like your wake-up sheets are on fear as opposed to your dog.
Oh, you're right. Right as I was describing it to you, you're right. That's the one I need to do on fear. So I'm going to write that
some
down.
of the worksheets. Yeah.
Okay, I think
some of the worksheets might.
Oh, good. Tracy's with you. Okay, well, I'll just I'll check in again if I need to. But thank you, Michael. And
okay, before we leave that topic, though, leave that topic, some of the worksheets you might want to do are on your fear of loss, maybe your fear of your dog suffering, maybe on missing your dog, and looking at how some of those things are recurrent issues in your life, and be ready to dissolve them so that you can have a different experience if your dog does happen to decide that it's time to leave.
Okay.
Because I'll bet if your dog leaves, your dog will be a whole lot happier if you're holding a space of love for him or her than if you're lost in pain or trauma. And who knows what gifts your dog may have for you in either staying or leaving, what messages may be there if you're free of that pain that dulls the intuition that doesn't allow you to hear on another level. So there might be some useful worksheets to do.
Wow. Thank you so much. Yeah, I have had a lot of feelings of missing him, and he is not even gone yet, but I'm just anticipating and feeling that. So Yeah.
Notice what carbon-based memory does.
Yeah. So do I put those down as goals, I guess? Those are goals, yeah. So I work on those.
Yeah, they'd be goals. No.
Big goals, okay. Thank you.
I want my dog to be here. I want my dog to be safe. I want my dog to be healthy. So there could be issues around safety, around health, around loss, around being alone. All of those things could be core issues that as you forgive, you'll just wipe those energies out of your relationship with your dog and probably find yourself having a much different relationship with your dog.
Yeah.
And the people around you.
Yeah. Plus, there's a lot of guilt about me wanting to give him more time while I've got it with him, to him, and I'm not doing, I know I used the word not, but I'm taking care of myself less in doing the work that I know that I need to do in order to move myself ahead in life where I want to go. And so I'm keeping myself real stuck and in denial. So I'm flushing it out now.
Cool. Well, we hold the space.
Can you help me with the guilt thing? Because I feel guilty when I take. Here we go. This is a mind shifter maybe. I feel guilty when I take care of others more than I take care of myself, and I feel guilty when I take care of myself more than when I take care of others.
So notice it doesn't have to do with taking care of others or yourself. You just got guilt.
Okay. All right.
So then the goals that one would tend to hold around guilt would probably be things like, I want to perceive myself as innocent. I want to be innocent. I want others to perceive me as innocent. How often did your power person tell you were guilty? It was your fault. You should have done better. You could have done better. If only you'd done better. So that might be a worksheet on, I wish I could have done better or should have, or, So they'd be all the arenas that you'd go in. And for anybody who's listening who is new to this conversation, one of the things we realize is that what drives perception, and when the mind is using pain to build our perception, there's always a driver involved, and the driver is the goal. And as long as you keep, holding on for dear life to that goal, then the underlying trauma or pain doesn't have room to surface for healing. And so to breathe, to cancel those goals. In the Aramaic language, the word forgive is shabag. It's to cancel. So to cancel those goals collapses the tip of the iceberg, the end result perception that has us feeling pain because of what's moving in us, and allows us to get into the underlying energy that's moving in us, and if it's not appropriate, change it. But otherwise, that underlying energy is never seen. It's just the tip of the iceberg that, I'm in trauma because of this. Well, no, you're not in trauma because of that. You're in trauma because there's trauma in you. And when you cancel a goal, you get to drop directly into the root of the trauma, and you can let it go, and then you can experience your dog going or staying. You can experience yourself taking care of yourself, or not taking care of yourself, or taking care of someone else, or not taking care of someone else, and you simply stay connected to love and function as a human being.
Thank you. I took some notes, and I'll go re-listen and write up about 20 worksheets. Thank you.
Yeah, it sounds like you might have a few there. And a good mind shifter might be.
Okay.
Got your pen handy?
Yes, I do.
It's safe and healing. And I'm committed to holding a space of love for, what's your dog's name?
Ulysses.
So,
like
and
Ulysses,
I'm committed to holding a space of love for Ulysses when he decides to leave. There, good one. Good breath. That's the kind of breath that heals. It's right on track.
Okay. All right. Oh, God.
You say that like you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
And I know you don't. I know you know it's true, but still there's that part of the mind that needs to be processed out. Generations and generations of loss and pain that has us reflecting an energy into an experience or into the world that doesn't have anything to do with the experience or what's happening in the world. And when we get to shift that out, then things change.
Okay.
Who knows? This is might choose to say, this girl is getting rid of all this trauma and pain that I was getting ready to get out of, and maybe I'll stay around longer. Or maybe Ulysses will say to himself, she's learned the lessons that I came to teach her, so it's time for me to move on. And you can stand as a space of love and joy for Ulysses, whether Ulysses goes or stays, because you're made of the stuff called love and joy. That other stuff is no inherent part of you. And when you maintain your human life, everything is different.
And, if he has achieved his goal of being with me, then, he gets to move on. It's done. It's accomplished.
Yeah, who knows what awaits him.
Wow, that's a big one. I just said that, and then now I know why I'm holding myself back. If he doesn't succeed, he doesn't get to leave. Oh, Lord. Anyway,
Aren't we fun creatures?
What?
I say, aren't we fun creatures?
Yeah, we sure. I tell you, I have things so rigged. It's a lot to undo. I mean, I am powerful, and I have things rigged the way I thought and used to think I needed to have them. And it's true; they're all old energies, and I don't need them that way anymore.
Yeah, you can play a whole different game.
Yeah.
You can play a game of aliveness and joy, whether people or dogs are there or not, whether money's there or not, whether the stuff you want is there or not, and you can play as a space of love, whatever happens outside of you. But if you hold things inside of you that, well, if this goal isn't fulfilled, then I have, what my generational patterns, what my good old family feeling is if this goal isn't fulfilled, then I'm supposed to be angry. And if this goal isn't fulfilled, I'm supposed to be sad. And if this goal isn't fulfilled, I'm supposed to be afraid. And if this goal isn't fulfilled, I'm supposed to rage. When you cancel all those goals and you process the underlying fear, rage, sadness, grief, whatever, you just get to live as love. And, things will likely happen in your world that you go, I'd prefer it were different. But you won't have to play the trauma game anymore. It's not designed for trauma.
It's not
unless, of course, I say it is not designed for trauma unless, of course, you want it to be traumatic. And then you get to create that too if you like. As long as you want to.
Oh, yeah, and I'm committed to being a space of love and experiencing and expressing and loving. And so that is the space in which this stuff can come forth and be removed. And I will have a different experience in life.
Exactly.
So,
it might be good to go back to your Laws of Living text and take a look at the grievance worksheet and do some work around that worksheet. Put that one to work.
Okay, yeah, I've lost touch with that one and how to work it. So I'll read the chapter. Yeah.
Cool.
Where you first introduced that worksheet to us, is that the chapter to read? I would say.
That would be it.
That would be it. Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Oh my God. Thank you. Right.
All right. Carry on.
Well, and blessings to everyone. And Jeannie, congratulations on your fantastic success with the Women's Healing Workshop. I can't wait till I can be in one.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, Michael, carry on. Thank you. Say hi to Ari.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
And we now have both Julie and Tracy turned on.
Oh, fabulous. Well, let's start with Julie, and then Tracy can maybe share some of her experiences with us. That'd be awesome.
Okay. So, hi, everybody.
Hey there, young lady. I don't know if you got to hear what Dr. Tim was saying yesterday. Maybe he's there and he could directly ask the question that he had. Are you with us, Tim? Is Tim there,
I
Jeannie?
do not see his number on the switchboard.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll have to listen to this in the archives, I guess. But so basically, what Tim was really excited about what you had to say about the vision part of it, tapping in with your new goal and creating a vision out of it. And so he just wanted more information in that regard. So what can you share with us about your insights there?
Okay, so, this started to develop over the years, and I started adding more and more information and I'm using the worksheet that has 11 steps, and so when I started to write there, I started just, adding another sentence and another sentence, and if we take a look at the sentence, what we think about comes about. I realized that I was creating a vision, a different vision other than my story, which was A, B, C, and D. And I started to continue to write, more and more in number 11. And after a while, I had a vibration, a different vibration. And then about 2 years ago, I chose to start to teach this to someone else. And I was working with Debbie and Jenny in Dayton. And I know you know those two people. And they started to work on, they started to work on their visions. And, Jenny's whole life is changed. I mean, she was not able to walk. She was heading to the Cleveland Clinic for all kinds of problems with her nerves and everything. She never, ever thought she would ever be in a relationship with a man. She's getting married in the spring, and she's engaged.
Awesome. Good for her.
I know. Her whole life has changed. She's actually doing some public speaking at We Care Arts, which is it's geared to people with handicaps, and she's being extremely supportive. And, of course, now she's using tools and writing a new vision for her life. So Debbie's doing the same thing. Things have changed in her family with her grandchildren, and, just life is, bubbling for them. And I noticed the same with the people that I've been working with this past 10 weeks. And, of course, Tracy I've been working with longer. But what happens is they bring in, and the number 11, I have added, I acknowledge us for choosing truth, perfect love, and I enthusiastically create and offer that. And then we write the vision statement. Now we complete the worksheet process between the way we see it and the way we want it to be. We take a look at what we have up there, and we bring that together, and then we add to it to make a different vision. So we're in essence rewriting our story, and we're bringing consciousness into it and enthusiasm. It's been really fantastic for me, and I feel it's been fantastic for others. I can give you an example of that if you would like. I had most of my students would say, "Oh, I like what you wrote," because what I do is when we're finished with the worksheet, I ask them to take time and write their number 11, and I will take some time and write my number 11 so that we can each read our perceptions of what, happened during that whole worksheet process. So I'll have my vision statement, and they'll have their vision statement, and oftentimes they ask to write mine. And for a while there, they were asking me to write a book on vision statements, but I realized, man, even all the worksheets I've done, it becomes a big project too. But I do have a few that I have written down if you would like me to, read them.
I think that'd be great.
Okay, so this one happened to be about, this person their issue was weight control, and this person thinks that they have no control over their life. Okay, so they, that was pretty much the top of the worksheet, but they felt like they could control their weight, and so that gave them a sense of power. Well, I can control my weight, and I can show others that I have this power and control. So the new vision was, I now commit to healing my emotions and the related thoughts around me needing to be in control of my weight. I am willing to see myself healthy, strong, energetic, slender, and fit. For me, life is about living in harmony with Source, and I see myself blending with that love that dwells within me. I ease myself into releasing any and all attachments to doctors and their negative practices. And the reason I put that in there, they were constantly going to a doctor, and they know that the doctors are just giving them drugs and really supporting them. They know that, but they still would run to the doctor. I focus on vibrant health, truly enjoy my food choices. I am loving and patient with myself. I enjoy the treats of life because I realize that behaviors or food choices do not change me. I change me by changing my desires, my focus, my goals, my intentions, and my willingness. I choose to honor myself by aligning with Source and actually consciously creating my life as I see it to be and as I want it to be. So that would be a new vision.
Cool, powerful. It sounds like it's really paralleling the final result, also slightly different, but still paralleling the final result of the purpose exercise. That it also taps into, like in this case, it would be, my purpose for what I do with food and my choices in life. That's powerful.
Yeah, when you were talking about purpose, I really got that instead of, I think our purpose is to really be awaken, become conscious of who you really are, wake up. But the next thing is, rather than using purpose, what's your vision for your life? It sets the energy differently. And it becomes like, it seems like it steps out of school to bring in a vibration of joy and excitement. So I agree with you 100%. It's right in line with it. I really, that day I was on the show and we were talking about desire, and even though it was quick, I really heard when you were talking about purpose, and I thought, wow, this is so in line with that.
Powerful, sweet. One of the other things that one can do with that last step too is then you can take that vision statement, and you can always do this with the last in every worksheet you do, is then turn that into a mind shifter. And that becomes a really powerful stimulus to allow anything that goes against that higher statement to come to the surface for healing. So I challenge everybody, when you get down to step 7, whatever your statement is there, then turn that into a mind shifter and see what it surfaces.
And also, can I add something?
Please,
sure.
Of course.
Magda had brought up a good point, a couple months or so back, too, that she realized, it was like an aha, that last goal that is set is also a goal. And you're not supposed to set goals that you can't achieve within the next waking period. You either have to achieve it or you have to cancel it. So that's another aspect of that last one as well.
Absolutely.
And that you actually want to take action on that goal. I think at the time Magda shared that, she was saying, I was just writing that down and then going on with my life and not really realizing that, this is a goal I'm setting. I have to, actually put energy toward this and turn it into a behavior. So yeah, when you write that last step, it's like,
I think a lot of people write that last one and then it's just like, okay, I'm done with that worksheet, and then just kind of drop it. But it's actually the next step.
And it does lead into other things. It truly does lead into other things. I noticed when, even when we start to do a worksheet, I was doing a worksheet with Michelle, and it opened up other areas. And there was a point there where we were almost going to change worksheets. I go, no, we need to stay with this worksheet. This is your next direction. You're being guided. This is the next step. This is the next worksheet. So, there's every time you do a worksheet, it's an opportunity to, if you just work towards staying conscious with it, it's an opportunity to see where you're going to go next. And it's just such a blessing. I mean, I have made friends with this worksheet for 28 years, and I just love it. I think it's just the greatest gift. anybody could ever have.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And, we've talked in the past about Hydra worksheets, and that the Hydra worksheet is as you cancel one goal or clean up one piece of information you get to link into the next and the next and the next. And this can also reinforce the idea of it being a Hydra, that it takes me to the next issue, the next piece of the puzzle. And in a sense, it kind of reminds me once again of why a lot of religious traditions use beads. And, the use of beads, like, in the Catholic tradition, there's a rosary. In the Buddhist tradition, there's the beads that one, is always praying on. But to recognize that symbolically, as one goes from one issue to another, as they deepen, the whole idea of the beads is that you are going down into the next level of the unconscious, the next level, and cleaning out what doesn't belong. And so it just kind of resonates, that thought about the reason why so many traditions use beads. And, this is a way to link one worksheet to the next, to the next, to the next. It just serves that same purpose of deepening contact. If we go back to Yeshua, and he says, you must forgive from your heart the wrongs of your brother. And as opposed to being a bleeding heart statement, he's saying you've got to remove from your unconscious mind everything that your unconscious mind puts into your brain's image of someone else. And that in order to do that, you've got to go deeper and deeper and deeper into that unconscious. And that's the whole purpose of everything in this work, to deepen contact with the unconscious dynamics and to clean them out until full conscious co-creativity shows up. And then it's a different game, different life.
Please put me through bed. Please.
Say again? Was that you, Julie? Were you saying something?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, okay. Not sure who it was.
Maybe it was Tracy.
Somebody's voice was in there.
Tracy?
Well, let's say hello to Tracy and see if she has any thoughts to share while Julie's still on.
Maybe I wasn't on mute. Can you hear me?
Hey there, young lady. Welcome. We'll look forward to seeing you in a couple days.
Yeah, I'm excited. I wanted to come down early, but since it's so cold, I thought, you know what? I'll just stay home. I don't see any point in being at the beach.
Come on down early. Get in the car and come on down tonight. Tomorrow morning.
I've got stuff going on.
Tomorrow,
in my house.
actually, tomorrow's supposed to be a beautiful day. Sunny. It's only going to be in the 50s, but it's supposed to be really nice. And we're going to make a day trip over to Carolina Island. So if you want to come join us.
Well, that sounds like fun. I've unfortunately planned something with my mama, so she's going to keep the dog for me. So.
Well, give Mama a hug
I
for us.
just wanted to chime in and say that I've really been enjoying these vision statements, and they've been, a powerful addition to the work. And I just feel, like there's so much in the context of the Bible metaphysically that's always talking about the power of the spoken word, and what we think about comes about, what we speak into existence is what happens. And so Julie's been working with me on this, and it's just I just wanted to chime in and say that it is so powerful. And it's also the where two or more are gathered thing is so powerful. So if I finish a worksheet and I do my number 11, and then she does her number 11, and then we both read them, it's amazing the power of having two different people writing the vision for one worksheet. And it just adds a whole nother, I'm going to call it layer of grace to, having more power with what you want. There's things that the other person can intuit. In Julie's case, she can see, having worked with me, things that sometimes I don't see. And so it's really powerful. So I wanted to just read one example. This
Please.
was a worksheet on, my being impatient. So I said, it is safe and healing for me to relax and ask God to guide my journey daily. Daily, God will show me what I need and what I need to accomplish
in the 24 hours in front of me for my growth and healing and in my earthly life. I seek only God's plans, and I let go of my concerns as I trust his love and abundance. I embrace the Holy Spirit in my spiritual journey, and I accept that each day I grow, I become more loving, more free, and fully self-expressed to live a vibrant life and make a difference. Gentle is my word.
Nice.
I choose to do life. Yeah, okay, so that was mine. Then this is Julie's version. Gentle is my word. I choose to do my life with cherishing, honoring, and gentleness. I easily manage my day by setting up all the realistic goals that support me moving forward and always ways of value. I stay with my process daily and manage it through the proper use of my stresses. Each day I offer myself time off to be truly liberated and a time to play and smell the roses and just be me. So you get the sense that you have two people writing the same thing with different words, and it's really empowering.
Nice.
So what I've been doing is I've been saving them all and putting them in a notebook, and then I can just read it to myself. So I can flip open the notebook, and it's like a notebook of 200 worksheets or 300 worksheets, vision statements. So you can imagine how empowering that is to have all of these vision statements that have come out of, choosing to be conscious, active, and present love in the face of whatever. This is crazy. I got the vacuumers on one side and the leaf blower guy on the other. Sorry about the noise. I'm going to try to move to a different place in the house. Let me go to the other room. So anyway, it's really most empowering and has been wonderful addition to my process.
Fabulous. Nice. And in the version of the statement that you read of your own, and then the one you read that Julie gave you, there are at least 8 mind shifters there. You could take each of those statements, split the page, write that on one side of the page, and just see, are there any resistances in my mind? Is there any part of my mind that's hiding something from me related to this aspect of the vision? And, there's the next layer. And then, of course, if that opens things up, then there are the next worksheets to do. So that's the beads aspect. It's all connected and linked and just keeps deepening, deepening, deepening. So nice work. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Delighted. Hope your play with Mom tomorrow is awesome, and we'll look forward to seeing you on Friday.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Okay, blessings. Take care. Julie, any other thoughts?
If you'd like, I would read the vision statement. This happened to be about one of my students, and she was talking about her father dying, and she was very upset about that her father was no longer around. So, and she was, feeling stubborn about the whole thing. And anyway, so if you would like me to read that vision statement, I can do that. Okay. And again, her father had left her early, and I think, they just found him there. He was alone, and she didn't like that either. Nobody knew that he was in the apartment alone and dead. So that was another part of this. But then here's what I wrote. I am willing to be a receptive learner, listener, and teacher of love. I enthusiastically, lovingly release Dad to his journey. I am full of gratitude for his contribution to our whole family. I love, honor, and cherish him. I acknowledge that I am the life force, and I can change and alter my direction in order to support me and my family living in a different life frequency. A frequency that will be understood by all that decide to take the journey to personal connectedness and liberty. I know with great joy, love, givingness, and enthusiasm. I know with great love, joy, givingness, and enthusiasm, set him free to make his holy journey. I recommit to my healing process and living in integrity with myself and others. I will create a new vibration for my family. I will be that space of love in the world. I model now and forever what I want to see in the world.
Nice. Very
Yeah.
sweet.
It's great.
And I think a collection of those, because it'll address so many different issues, published in a book would give people just all kinds of support in seeing where some of their issues are, and the end result of some of that work would open a space, I think, for people to become more willing to do their work. So if you've got a collection of those, I think that would be, a book of collected vision statements would be pretty powerful.
Well,
I mean, for someone who's dealing, let's say take that one, for someone who's dealing with the passing of someone important in their lives, to be able to look at that and go, wow, I could be thinking about their passing with those eyes instead of the ones I've got now. And what do I have to do? What work do I have to do to free myself of the traumatic eyes I'm looking through to stand in those eyes? That'd be, I think, a really powerful contribution, Julie.
Thank you. I really haven't saved them. I haven't saved them because I just would I just haven't saved them. I have about 7, and then I thought, gosh, I'm writing worksheets, and I'm putting this writing into this book, and I'm going, gosh, so I kind of stopped. But I can go ahead and do that. I can start to.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Okay.
I'd certainly be honored and delighted to carry it on the tape table.
Right. I will start to add to that. And I think,
awesome.
I've enjoyed it, and everybody else has. I didn't know if Camille is on. Is Camille available? Because she had talked about maybe.
Actually, Julie, she is in the chat room. She doesn't have a landline, but when you all got finished, I was going to read. She said she has one issue that seems to repeat and said that you would confirm it when she gets to number 6, and this is actually on your 11 step, which is the driving goal, that she seems to jump down to number 11, a loving goal, and has yet to clearly write down the driving goal for her trigger, and said she loves your method and the way that it works and everything, but she realizes when she's on her own it doesn't always work. And so do you have anything you can offer her as far as getting to the driving goal instead of just jumping over it? Sounds like resistance to me to look at what's really driving it and wanting to get down to the positive goal real quick.
Actually, I think I don't know if I would take that position, but what I've noticed is that people just seem to go to what they want or desire, and they don't visit A, B, C, and D. They just, focus on, well, this is what I desire. And so I have them revisit, and I have her revisit, what did you write in A, B, and C, and D? And, what were you really thinking about it? And so then if she takes that time to visit, I think sometimes people are in a hurry sort of to get to the end. Tracy and I have talked about this. We call it impatience. They want to, just get to the end of the worksheet in a way. And so they seem to skip the desire, what they desire. What is that driver that's creating the output of the mind? And I'll have to usually reinforce that with everybody, not just Camille, everybody. What is the driver? And I explain to them how important it is to know what this driver is, and that this is one of the main keys of this whole worksheet process, to collapse this whole thing and then find out what else is going on in your mind, and then the direction to the next stage of healing. Camille does a fabulous job of writing number 11, and I agree that sometimes she gets tied up there, but she's not alone. That's just a very common behavior, and I think Michael would validate that, that it's common.
That's right on track.
Yeah.
Right on track, and another thing that might be useful to work with is to take that vision statement and take it back to number 6 as a goal, and cancel that goal and see what comes up.
Mm-hmm. Could do that. That's a new thought.
Because in essence, that in essence, that vision statement is another goal.
Yes.
Once I commit
is.
to it, it's another goal. And by canceling it, I may just show myself, or it tends to be complicated. So canceling it in pieces, taking each aspect of it, the way I was suggesting, with Tracy's, that she had about 8 mind shifters there. There are about 8 different goals that you could take back to the identifying the goal and then canceling the goal and see what it shows, see what it brings to the surface.
This is all true. What I have noticed about writing the vision is that it seems to bring exactly what I had said. I enthusiastically create and offer that. It brings in an energy of possibility. And when we're doing the worksheets, when there's just a sentence, there isn't an energy of possibility. What else could you possibly create other than what you're sort of frozen in here? I desire this, and this is the output. I desire this, this is the output. So I find that the vision statement, for anybody that has really, truly allowed it to be a frequency, rather than say, oh, that's not really true, but allowed it to be a frequency and just allowed it, they're more happy about doing their worksheet process. They're more happy about doing their healing. They're more accepting of it.
Cool. Sweet. Very cool.
So that's the addition.
Well, fabulous. All right. Well, is Dr. Tim with us by this point, Jeannie? Has he shown up yet?
I'm not seeing his number.
Okay. Well, again, we'll probably get some feedback from after he gets a chance to listen
here
to
he is.
from
Here
the
he
archives.
is.
Oh, there he is, the young man. Hey, sir.
Well, thank you for doing this, Julie. I've only been able to be on the last 10 minutes or so. I had to be on another unexpected call, but I'm going to go back and listen and listen and listen. So that's exactly what I was looking for, a nice, full, expanded explanation of what you're doing and how you're helping people diving more deeply into the process. And this is a show for the books, in my opinion.
Yes, it's a treasure trove, for sure.
You also heard, Tim, that I've changed the number 6. Of course, I'm doing the 11-step worksheet. The word, instead of want, I'm put in desire.
No, but I'm going to write that down, and I'll make sure I go back and listen. I don't know. I have a feeling that the numbers on our archives are as high as they are because of me. Sometimes I think I single-handedly listen back to more shows than anybody else. But
cool.
So you're using the 11th step, and you're on number 6, and instead of want, you say desire, right?
Correct. I looked up the word want, and then I looked at the definition, and I kept getting the feedback that I should be using desires. So then I looked up the word desire, and I just decided that frequency was a lot sweeter, I guess, for a better word, softer. And almost a more mature approach, because I am desiring something. Anyway, Michael, you had feedback for that, and if Tim didn't hear that, maybe you'd like to give him that feedback that you gave me that day.
I'm not sure which piece of feedback you're thinking of, so seeing as how you have it in mind, firing in brain cells, why don't you share it with us?
Well, I would love to, but I don't have your gift for language, but you said the word desire means, and then you elaborated.
Oh, yeah. Well, sire being the father, and D being of, so of the Father. So when I tap into the highest level, what is underlying everything is what is fed back to me from the Creator. Is that the piece you're thinking of?
That's exactly the piece I'm thinking of.
Yeah, cool. So of the Father, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought Tim would like to hear that.
Wonderful. Yeah, a lot of rich stuff.
That scriptural piece, it says, that it is the Creator's good pleasure to give us the kingdom, to give us that community of love. And so when we tap into that highest level, that's where we're going to find the most precise goal that, when canceled, will give us the most precise healing result by triggering what's under the surface and giving us a chance to look at it and move through it. So it's good.
Tracy's back on with a comment.
Hey, cool.
Oh yeah, I was
young lady.
I was going to read another. Yeah, since I've been keeping my list of these, I found another one that I think is really powerful, and it shows the mine as well as Julie's. And this one was a worksheet where I always feel like there's not enough time and I'm in a hurry and I can't get it all done, and I feel a high level of stress around that. So this vision, and I forgot to read the number 11, so I want to put that in. I am grateful and join with the love in you. Tracy can't get it all done in a day, in a hurry, that whole story. I acknowledge us for choosing truth, perfect love, and I enthusiastically create and offer that every day I affirm there is enough time in the day for me. I let go of old data that says there's not enough time and I'm in a hurry. Every day I have enough time to slow down and focus on my journey and enjoy each minute. I often smile and delight in the simple pleasures, taking time to enjoy the sun on my face, the flowers, the breeze, read a book, walk the dog, cook a healthy meal, visit with people, or just take a friend to lunch. Daily, I celebrate my life and my vision, knowing the unknown and yet unfolding of God's divine plan is enough. Just even for the next 24 hours, it will be handled. The Holy Spirit goes before me and clears my path. And then the part that Julie wrote, it is fun, safe, and healing for me to take my time and enjoy the journey no matter what it is, and still get through things and get them done to my satisfaction. There is always plenty of time for me. I am an internal being on my own eternal path. I run on energy from source. I hear God's direction, intuition, and Holy Spirit. I read and see the good and truth in everyone for my and their highest good. Each day, with my presence and my sacredness, I am inspired to love and spray love on time as I accomplish living my 24 hours of bliss.
Nice.
So that does leave you with new possibilities, right? It's like it gives you kind of a whole picture of what's possible. And, when life gives you lemonade, or lemons, choose flat tire or flat tire. Oh, I guess I'll take the flat tire because, that's what I've got. And I can look at it like possibility, or I can look at it like, oh, it's a big bummer. And so with these affirmations, it really does create I think an enthusiastic, it's almost like a prayer of affirmation that I can choose the world of possibility versus the duality where there's always a negative. If I look at everything as positive, I become love. And if I look at fear and lack, I'm in that hostility place. So it's really powerful.
Very cool. Sweet. Thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
And it sounds like you've got another 10 mind shifters there. How cool is that?
Yes. It's an ongoing journey.
Yes, absolutely. And as we choose to do our work, the journey gets longer and longer and longer because we get to step deeper and deeper and deeper into eternity because we're willing to let go of and forgive the things that would otherwise kill us. So, hey, you win on every angle on that one.
Right.
Cool.
Well, and I have to say that when I called into the show, I did not even remember Julie or recall that she had been in Florida. And I don't think she knew that I was me, but she just heard this person on the radio show that was struggling, which is a word I choose not to use in my vocabulary anymore. But at that time, that's where I was, and she called me and offered to help me. How about that for a miracle?
That's pretty cool. And we could join. I've put this thought out previously to Julie, but maybe if a couple of other folks did that, we could join with Julie. And she's in Missouri, and if she packed her car up and left tomorrow morning, she could be here in time for the start of the Intuitive Development Intensive, and take part right here on the beach in Oak Island, North Carolina. It's not all that far. It'd be pretty cool to have her show up just out of the blue.
Be very cool.
That's a goal we're framing for you, Julie.
I can hear that.
So anyway.
Yeah,
What was that?
I appreciate. I said I appreciate the invite. If you could whisk me there quickly, I would probably think about it. But right now,
there
I've
are
got
these
this
whisking machines called airplanes that you could jump on.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thoughts there. We'll see.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right. Okay, blessings. Nice input. Thanks, everybody. Any other thoughts for you, Tim? Or is Michelle there to share anything about her work with Julie on the vision statement? Or and Camille, any other thoughts for you in the chat room?
My question for Julie would be, how long on average do you take constructing one of those new visions?
Usually it takes about 3 to 5 minutes. The biggest issue would be the grammar, because lots of times there's run-on sentences because I just allow the whole thing to flow. So later, I might go back and, comma needs to be here and so on. So about 5 minutes, I would say, maybe less, 3 to 5 minutes.
And then how often do you do additional work with them, like Michael's suggesting, turning them into mind shifters? Or
I haven't turned any of them into mind shifters. I have just been working towards experiencing the vibration, the new thought, a different vision, a different vibration. So I haven't done that. I think that, that's definitely insightful. If somebody wanted to do that, so anyway, I haven't applied that.
Okay. Have you then had the experience of reading it multiple times later that day or the next day just to keep that vision going? Do you use it in that way, or do you just frame that vision at the end of the worksheet and move on?
For me personally, I usually reinforce what I read. I might read it one more time, and then that's it. I have not, read them the next day or anything like what Tracy's been doing. Remember, I have 28 years of this, so I haven't been doing that. And when I started out, I did not have these vision statements. This has been kind of, allowing another source to teach me to take this direction.
Okay, so one more thing before we run out of time. In the other day when you mentioned this, you were saying that when you create this new vision, if people are energized and feel good about it and excited about it, that's that. And if they're having a hard time feeling energized or positive about it, then you say they have more work to do on that worksheet. Were you talking about the specific worksheet that triggered that vision?
The word believe is be living. So if they don't believe what they wrote in their vision, that really means they need to go back and continue to do some more work around this particular issue.
On the one that was triggered in that worksheet.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct. That's where I lead them to that. And then, if they are excited and enthusiastic, that they are moving past that. They want something else. Yes, I want to set something else. I'm willing to let go of this.
All right, excellent. My question.
This triggers another thought for me too, that ties in with the instruction set that people call the Lord's Prayer that isn't a prayer, but rather it's just a set of instructions. And in the Aramaic, there's a phrase early in the Lord's Prayer that can be properly translated as, carve out a space in us for your wholeness to arrive. And to me, that would be using it as a mind shifter to carve out that space, because in order to create something, a woman cannot create a baby in her body unless she conceives. And there's got to be a receptive space for that conception to occur. And the cleaner the vision statement is, the more immaculate it is, the more immaculate the conception's going to be, the more precise the end result. After the pregnancy, there's going to be the birth of an experience. And so just tying in with, and I loved your idea, Tracy, of keeping a book of all your vision statements to just, 10 years from now, going over 10 years of those really high-level thoughts and seeing the progress and the process that you've been through, really powerful. And then to keep it focused in the arena of, okay, if I have trouble conceiving of this, if there's an energetic space where this doesn't fit in me, Yeshua gives that instruction of, carve out a space in me for this to arrive, for this to land, for this to really lock in and produce a creative result.
I like that, because then they could actually read their vision and say, are there any aspects of this vision that you have a little bit negativity around? And then that would be something where you would be carving out something different so that you could,
exactly. That'd
actually.
be where the forgiveness piece is. Yep. Yeah.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah,
Fabulous. Great conversation. Great that you focused on that question, Tim. Thank you. And Julie for bringing that accent to that particular step in the wake-up sheet. Very cool.
You are welcome. My pleasure.
All right, well, we're down to the last under a minute, so I'm just going to say mucho gracias to everybody for the conversation, and we hold the space that everyone creates the best area out of your eternal life. And if this show is meaningful to you, or you think there might be somebody else out there that could use it, please get the MP3, attach it to an email, send it all around the globe, anywhere, everywhere you can possibly imagine. Put it on your website, a link to it, and share it with people. In the meantime,